All right. Looks like we're live. Welcome, everybody, back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host, Rattlesnake, coming at you live for the first time in a while from the Snake Pit out here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, joined
Not
by
the
my
cobwebs off that
co-host.
thing.
I know. It feels like, and you're in your studio, my co-host,
We've
Dakota.
been on the road a little bit.
We
We're
both
busy.
have, I don't know the last time it's been just me and you in our studios.
Yeah, maybe like 2 weeks, 3. Well, you missed an episode, and then
Exactly.
you joined on the road, and then you were on the road another night. Yeah, dude, it's been a minute for you.
Yeah, and Rob's been in a bunch with us. You had Tyler
R.I.P.
Reddick
Rob.
on. Yeah, it's just me and you in our studios. This has been a while.
Live from Atlanta, Georgia, Dakota Rutledge coming to you from the Rutledge Dome. Oh man, we went Richmond short track racing. We got a debate: is it a short track? Is it not? Real heated in the comments. But we're gonna talk everything about Richmond, comers and goers, perform of the race, our race rating, good, bad, and ugly. Then we're gonna jump on in at the end of the episode and talk about everything Martinsville. We're going to the old girl stuff of the paper clip. Let's get it started.
Let's do it. What's up? It's Chairgatin coming at you live.
Hello, come right in. Rock flag and eagle.
You know what? Before we get into anything, I did want to mention. Have you watched the It's Always Sunny podcast or listened to it or anything?
Dude, so like I see their posts on Instagram and I'm like, I kind of want to watch that, but like by the end of the week, I'm just now finishing like all my NASCAR podcasts and stuff. And I'm like, whenever I get like a blue moon or like time to kill, I want to listen to their podcast. It looks funny. Right. It looks like it'd be naturally them just shooting the shit.
It is, obviously, because it's just them. What they're doing is they're going episode by episode, going back, reviewing each of their episodes. Funny. So it's like episode 17, which I just finished. It was the one where Charlie goes all America all over your asses, which is what the intro is from.
The intro.
The Rock Flag and Eagle part. And they tell the story about it. That was completely improv, unscripted. He just went off and made up his own song. And it was supposed to sound like a Silverado commercial.
I've heard several.
That's what he was trying.
I've heard several clips where there've been like, something happened in a scene and they just like kept going, or like they just totally made up some dumb word and like let a whole skit go about it. Like,
well, if you watch this episode, they tell all those stories. It's awesome.
All right, I need to get on that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's definitely worth it. Also, we are brought to you by.
It's official. You in the case. It's just so legit.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeatsofficial.com, 10% off, discount code Chairgatin
bling bling
on your purchase, and you can look this fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's just every time I put these bad boys on, I feel like $1 million.
You know what though? They are dirty as hell. I
have a bad habit. Luna will grab them and play with them and wear them and stuff, and then when I go to put them on, there's just little fingerprints and cheese and like cracker dust all over them, and I'm like, God damn it!
Like almost like you have a child.
Oh,
here we go. Okay, first of all, yeah. Look at that.
Daga's coming and it's counting, and I had to prepare. I wanted to go ahead and get this thing groomed up and ready to ride for Daga week, so I was prepping early.
Absolutely, looking good. Dude. You got to do something fun for Daga. Like we kind of make fun of the guys that go all out for every race, right? Like the college kids that are trying a little too hard.
I'm at the NASCARs,
but for Talladega, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. I let that slide at Talladega because it's just fun. Like, if you want to do like the mutton chops, right? Like our buddy did, like that shit, it's all out,
Yeah.
It's all fair game.
Might get you laid.
If it doesn't, then you're doing something wrong. That's not the problem. Also, yeah, thanks for doing the show before the Carolina game. I agree. I am going to be watching that game.
What game
tonight.
Is that?
So, for anyone that doesn't know, Dakota has no idea what's going on in college basketball or many other sports, really, other than NASCAR.
I honestly asked if it was basketball. I did guess that it was the NC, the one with the.
No. What you guessed?
I said it was Duke.
I said it's the national championship game. It's North Carolina versus Kansas, and Dakota goes, "Oh, North Carolina, that's Duke, right?" And I had to explain it to him. I was like, "That's like saying Alabama is Auburn." Like they're polar opposites. That's an insult to everyone in the state of North Carolina on both sides of the aisle.
I feel bad for people that watch basketball.
Dude, I feel bad for you for not watching March Madness. It's maybe some of the most exciting sports that happens every single year. You're missing out.
Yeah, I've tried watching some basketball. It's just like they run down here and shoot, and then they run down there and shoot. I'll tell you what's fun to watch is women's basketball.
No, it's not.
Women's college basketball.
No,
No, if you want a good laugh, watch women's basketball.
That's true.
It's hilarious. And however, get cool your little basketball game. I'm excited. It's Masters week. I am freaking pumped. I got this whole weekend planned. I'm gonna sit and just watch the Masters and drink heavily.
You know what? If you become a big baseball fan, it would be like the trifecta for watching all the boring sports on TV.
Ooh.
Because everyone calls baseball, golf, and NASCAR like the most boring sports to watch on television.
Dude, I can watch golf. Like I like watching golf.
Same.
I watch golf and I'm like, I gotta go play.
That's the thing though about golf, right? I sit there long enough and watch it, and I'm like, you know what? I need to go out and play. And so it just makes me want to play. I played twice this weekend.
I seen that, you little shit, dude. I was like, you motherfucker. Fishing's so hot right now. Me and Ronnie have vowed, like, hey, we are not golfing until we get some fishing in.
That's fair.
So we've been doing some fishing. And I'm like, all right, once it starts getting too hot, then we're gonna go back to golf.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you can do either while it's hot. I mean, that's the nice thing because it just involves heavily drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Both of the activities.
Hell, that last comment isn't even relevant. Have you watched any sports in the last like 6 months? I don't even care like for baseball.
I think he's talking about college basketball.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he's saying like
every team from Georgia.
UGA, like
college hoops.
Like Georgia Tech probably.
Yeah, I imagine their shit sucks.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of their basketball team.
Georgia Tech's been good before because they're in the ACC.
But... Have you ever seen Georgia Tech? It looks like Hogwarts.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I had one of my best friends graduated from there.
Oh,
yeah.
Every time I go around there, I'm like, look at these losers.
Yeah, it's a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Well, because it's all engineers.
Trying to
it's the whole school is engineering. Yeah, it's a bunch of nerds.
Oh, but yeah, there was also like a race yesterday.
Was there? It was a pretty controversial race.
And that's the thing I don't get, because like I was like halfway, 3/4 away of the race, and I was sitting there. And I was like, oh, man, this has kind of just been like a Richmond race. Like, kind of the last 10 years is kind of how Richmond's been. And I was like, really thought I questioned before, like last week's episode, I was like, man, is the cars going to give us some crazy, like, crazy ass race? Is it going to be like, holy shit, that's back. Guys are losing it. Guys are spinning. Guys are wrecking or something. I want wrecks all the time, but like it used to be like some guy got loose and got in a guy and they washed up the turn. That happened often. We did see some rubbing and racing. We saw some banging. Some guys got heated. We can talk about that. But at the end, I did like that strategy played out. It was the first round of the short tracks we had. This lineup of the next like 6 races is so sick. I really am liking the schedule. But Richmond was Richmond, man. I call it a short track. My whole life it's been a short track. Kind of races like old Atlanta. It's a racer's race. I appreciate we had tire wear more than we have had. Tires did play a matter into the win. Strategy did play a role. It was like you had to manage your tires. Some guys came and went. Some guys were really hot at first and then fell off into nowhere. And some guys showed up late and got a top 10. It did feel like it felt like an old school race. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's not this new NASCAR where everything's crazy, bing, bang, bow. But I appreciated it. I know it wasn't the zinger, wild ass Ross Chastain dumps AJ. It was just a good old race. And then at the end, guys that took tires 50 laps ago prevailed.
So here's what I've noticed and what's annoyed me so far about this race is I don't care if you liked it or didn't like it. That's fine. Whatever. I really could care less. I know how I feel about it, which I'll get into. But I've noticed specifically on Twitter, somebody will voice their opinion and say something like, yeah, I didn't like this race. Wasn't very exciting, right? I was kind of bored the whole time. Stuff like that. And they just get bombarded with attacks. And they're like,
fuck you.
They're like, this is real racing. If you don't like it, then you better watch something else. And it's a lot of people.
I know who you're talking about.
I was going to say, it's a lot of people I'm friends with that are saying these things.
Yeah.
I mean,
think I got attacked by a dude in comments
most
today.
of my inner circle of NASCAR people are the ones tweeting this. It's kind of getting on my nerves. Like, if the people didn't like it,
Twitter's getting bad again.
Here's the thing, and I guess this kind of goes into how I feel about it too, because it's like the last couple races for us. I thought it was a good race. I enjoyed watching it. I had a good time watching it. Was it my favorite race of the year? No. It was a good race though, and obviously, like you said, the end, how the strategy played out, made it actually worth it. Because without that, I was kind of bored. And I understand that there was tire wear, and that's good. And I understand that we didn't have a lot of cautions. That's great. But at the end of the day, like I was watching a lot of it, just being like, okay, this is Richmond again.
Yeah, we didn't miss a beat here. I thought the cars might bring us something different, but they did. But I think the tires did. I don't remember like even the last year. I remember last year's complaining how tires don't wear, and some tracks they did a little bit, but like here not as much, not significantly. But I thought it was really cool. Like there was guys split from the start. We're gonna try to make the stage on one stop. Gonna try to make it on 2 or 3, and you saw like guys would get running up front, and then they'd pit, and then the whole top 10 would flop. And then you'd see those guys coming back, and all of a sudden those guys pit. Now they're back up here, but then they pit again, and it's like it kind of kept going back and forth. And literally, you had to pay attention to know what was going on. If you just tuned in halfway in that race, you were fucking lost.
That's the thing too. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, we're gonna go into like Fox's coverage, but once again, I do want to say, like, I think the race would have been a lot better if Fox wasn't fucking covering this race. But more importantly, they were addressing some of the strategies that were playing out more.
I saw several people I'm friends with on Twitter post from Richmond and stuff all weekend. And afterwards, I saw several people post like how much fun they had and how awesome a race it was. And they were there. I didn't comment or ask, but I was like, they were there and they said they liked it. Yep. Like literally here's me in Atlanta. And it was like, but then, on TV, I was like, well, I appreciated that race. Wasn't it? You got it. And like, did you see Brad K's tweet? He shared Jeff Gluck's good race poll, and he said,
I mean, I saw the poll. I don't think I saw Brad K's tweet about it.
Brad K shared it and said, it's okay to have different types of racing at different tracks. Not every race is supposed to be Mr. Excitement, crazy, flashy, like crazy race with tons of wrecks. Like he's like, I think when it was really short, but this is like what he was trying to say.
Paraphrasing what he's saying.
Yes. So he was like, it's okay when you give fans more variety of types of racing, they have more to choose from instead of giving of course we like side by side finishes once in a while, but if we had one every week, it would get dull.
That's a great point. I actually agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I was worried he was going to say some shit like what I was complaining about. I was like, this is real racing. If you don't like it, you better turn it off.
Really
I like that point because he's like, hey, look, you might not have liked this one as much, but a lot of people did like it, and it's good that we have the variety.
Yeah, it was like blowing up too.
I think that's a really good point.
He said, I liked yesterday's race. It was a nice change of pace from the last few weeks. I think it's good to have different types of racing week to week for the fans. And Denny had commented on, was like, you're fucking correct. So 36 weeks of the same is a bad formula for long-term success.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't. Yeah, I see what he's saying. I would say we've already had quite a variety, so we definitely haven't had 36 weeks of the same. But I do agree with that point. And I mean, that from Atlanta too is like way different. It's like completely different style and type of racing. So it's kind of nice that they have them like that close, and it's just
it's almost like we talked about. Like, hey, I don't want to see super speedway racing every week, but hey, if we go to a road course, then we go to short track, and then we go to a super speedway, and then we go to intermediate. Like, it's fun to see like week to week challenging the drivers, different types of race. Some races are going to be long, green flag, and strategy. It brings the crew chief way more importance into his role.
Right.
But it's like, and then sometimes tracks are going to be hard to drive, and they're going to smack the wall and wreck, and guys got to avoid it, and who gets taken out and who doesn't. Like, that's fun too.
So is Atlanta a short track then?
Oh my God. No. What?
So essentially what I'm saying is like, we have these tracks that just race completely different. Like coming from Atlanta, and then we go to Austin, which is a road course, and Atlanta races like a super speedway. It's not one, but it races like what now? And then we go to a road course, And then we go to Richmond. They all race just completely different. The variety is just crazy. Which is what people wanted, right? People said they were tired of the cookie cutter stuff, the cookie cutter intermediates, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting it.
I appreciate Richmond, man. I honestly, I was thinking it too yesterday watching. I was like, this track doesn't need 2 dates. Like, I appreciate the track. It's old school historic. Like, we saw Dale Earnhardt race here and shit in the 70s and 80s. But, like, I was watching it and how we've, like, last 10 years have been like, hey, Richmond.
Yep.
But it's like, this
and it's
is
getting
a one
worse,
dater.
kind
It's
of,
a
where
it's a one dater.
Yeah.
Maybe some things will change. I was listening to the Teardown with Jeff Gluck, and they were talking about that they went into this race when they went to Phoenix. You know, they kind of always compare Phoenix to Richmond. It's like they went to Phoenix and they did the resin, and they were kind of like, hey, you don't even know like what these cars are going to do. Like, why mess with the track? So they kind of learned from Phoenix. So they didn't do anything this weekend with Richmond. Last year they did the resin. This race they didn't. And then they were talking like, so for the second Richmond race, do you think maybe they try the resin, see if it changes anything? Like, you saw what you saw here, maybe try something for the fall race.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think I tend to agree with you that I would be okay with Richmond at this point being just having one race. But I mean, okay, what would you rather have one race at, Richmond or Darlington?
Yeah, you're right. But that's the thing too, is like we've talked, is I don't know. I grew so used to Darlington having one day.
I know, but Darlington, I think, does produce better racing.
Yeah, I'd rather watch 2 Darlingtons.
Exactly. So it's kind of a weird
But if you asked me that 20 years ago, that'd be a top. I think Richmond was like, ooh, wait.
Oh yeah, 20 years ago.
But it ain't. I don't know really how or why it just kind of stopped. It used to be like the wild short track. It was crazy because the front stretch was like a D oval, like it turned the whole time. And being there, seeing it, the track's small. Like, you're like, holy shit! You'd be surprised how banked the corners actually are.
That's what I've heard too. When people go, they're like,
cool.
well, it looks like a short track when you're there.
Yeah, you can see the other side fine. It looks small. But yeah, I don't. It's just kind of falling off, man. I was thinking it too. I was like, we were sitting here complaining if this is a short track or not. I was like, but I feel like Iowa's not a short track, but it's like not a mile and a half. It's like, I don't know. Iowa almost raced like a short track though, and it's not a short track. But Richmond races like intermediate, but it's a short track to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Sealer Dale Jr. said.
So you're saying Richmond is a short track but doesn't race like one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
but
that's
it used
probably
to.
And I understand people outside the NASCAR community like get irritated by that because outside the NASCAR community, yeah, short tracks are quarter miles, but in NASCAR it is different, right? I mean, they don't. It's not. I know we did just race on a quarter mile this year, but that was a huge deal that they finally did that. So I agree. Growing up as a NASCAR fan, this is and has always been a short track. It doesn't race like one though. So I understand the argument of like it's just not a short track then. So I don't know.
I don't know. But the race had some comers and goers. It kind of, I like that aspect too. There were some guys that started strong. Chase Elliott was blazing through the field. I was like, oh no, like Chase is gonna go up here and kick ass and like get his oval win or some shit. And he fell off at the back half. Ross Chastain was kicking ass. He kicked Blaney's ass up and down the racetrack.
God, I was like, dude, Ross Chastain is the new Kyle Larson
guy. Yeah, dude. I loved it. I was like, go Ross, hit him. Like Ross, because Blaney moved him first.
Right. Yep.
So Blaney moved him first, and Ross was like, came back and punted him. And I was like, yes.
And you know what? He's got to win now. He's been racking up top fives. It's like, he can kind of earn the respect a little bit now.
But then you see there's that restart, and Blaney's right behind him, blazing his 3, and Fox just pans away and films Joey Logano go through the corner. And you hear the announcers go, whoa, whoa! Right. Blaney punts Ross Chastain back in turn 3, and we totally miss it. And 17 laps later, we get a replay. We'll get there. But that was good to see. I like seeing new little rivalries and guys beating and banging. I like seeing guys use the bumper at this kind of style racing, or when they see fit. Yeah, thank you, Steve Letarte, the man.
I was gonna say, good to see Nathan.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nathan's been MIA for a while.
Yeah, he's been way MIA.
He's been busy.
We put up Nick's comments now. Nick's our guy.
But Yeah, I don't. It was some good racing, comers goers, and then all of a sudden you see these guys. Only a few guys like, hey, we're gonna fucking pit, and they come and literally it pissed me off because I'm watching Kevin the whole race, and like I'm hearing Rodney say, pit now, we're gonna pit. And Denny pits the lap after us, and he's like they're coming out cycling through, and they're in like I think they're in like 13th or 14th right there. And they're like 30 seconds back, and it's like 52 to go. And I'm like, well, maybe we'll get up to like 7th or 8th. Like that'll still be a good day. Like that's what I'm thinking. And and Rodney goes, it's going to come down to you and the 11 for the win. And I'm like, shit, I hope. Like that'd be cool, but okay. Like how good are these new tires? And I'm literally watching the tracker, and they're knocking a second off a lap, dude. They're like, and I'm like, holy shit. And they get up to like 9th and 10th, and they went from like 26 seconds back to 16 seconds back. And now it's like 20 to go. And I'm like, dude, like they've already shaved off 10 seconds. And then they got up to like 5th and 6th, and they were only like 7 seconds back. And I was like, dude, they're gonna fucking catch them. And I was like, oh shit. Like I told you, I got off the chair, and like I told Felicia, I was like, and I sat there and I was just watching the TV, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Because I'm listening to the scanner, and like he's like, stay with that 11. He's like, it's gonna be between you and the 11, like follow the 11. And they're like slicing and dicing, and then the Fox is just filming Truex and fucking William Byron a half a straightaway apart. And I'm like, do they not see what is happening here? But I'm like, I'm listening to Kevin Scanner, so I guess I'm up to date. But I'm like, dude, they're coming. Like they've already knocked off 20 seconds. Like they're fucking coming, and Fox has not said a word about it.
I mean, I think the sad thing is Fox, like you answered the question. I don't think they even know.
Dude,
like, I think they're that oblivious.
Fucking film this. And finally they were like, oh, Kyle Larson's catching them. We're gonna have 3-way battle for this win. And I was like, this whole race is about to get fucking wild. And it was like 10 to go, and they were catching Larson. And I'm like, dude, they are gonna get there. And finally they're like, oh, Denny Hamlin has caught Larson on new tires. Da 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 da. And I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah, broadcasters are also at the goddamn track. Like, I don't even want to hear that argument. But fucking all of a sudden, Denny blasts by Byron, and Kevin's right behind him.
Are you saying the Nathan's argument?
Yeah.
That's what broadcasters like, see what
we see? They also have a giant window behind those TVs.
They also have people like working for them that could be listening to every like radio monitor and be like,
yeah, they're not just watching a TV sitting on a couch.
No, yeah, they have a whole team behind them. There's millions of dollars put into every production behind this. That's not.
They also have dozens of screens. Larry Mack has telemetry and shit. Like he's at North Carolina doing all that. Anyways, Denny blows by him. Kevin's right behind him, and he's like, Timmy's like, go get him no matter what it takes. You got this. Like he's pumping him up. I'm getting pumped up watching, and I'm literally thinking like it's gonna be a long shot for Kevin to get to him. But I was like, what if he gets to him? And Kevin gets P2. Denny Hamlin, old guys for the dubs. They get the win. And I was like, yeah, okay, Denny. Like Kevin didn't get the win. I'll take P2 though. Like that was an awesome strategy. And there, the last 20 laps, I was off my couch, like my heart was racing. And I was like, yeah, I mean, for like nobody, like a Chase Elliott fan, he probably really didn't. He was like, oh, whatever, Denny Hamlin. But like me, I was fucking like blood pumping at the end of that race.
Nathan's asking, why would they talk about something they aren't showing? I think, Nathan, the point is, it's the camera guy that should be showing what's going on, and then they can talk about it.
I think the producer talks to the camera guy.
I'm not blaming,
talks to them.
I'm not blaming the guys in the booth. Like, I know it's not their decision what to put on.
It's literally like when they Blaney punched Chastain and they're filming Joey Logano.
Right.
Yeah, all the announcers flipped out about it.
Right. They were clearly like watching something else. Yeah, it's the camera guy for sure. I'm not blaming
the camera guy. They're like, hey, film Blaney Chastain. He's like, Logano?
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of which, what do you think about this take?
Ooh, speaking of Fox, they should put Larry Mack's old ass in a box. Connor,
how you feel about that one?
A 6-way battle. Shows Bubba Wallace bumper cam from 36. Dude, Connor is a savage. Yeah. Dude, but Yeah, it turned out to have a spicy little ending, and if you didn't appreciate it, then I don't care. But it was an okay race, man.
Well, I
It was,
think everyone can agree, like, the ending was exciting.
yeah.
Watching the strategy play out was exciting. Fox probably should have shined
Oh
a little bit
Lord,
more light on how
there's
that, like, was
classic
playing out.
Nathan.
What'd he say?
Oh, y'all are always right.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Oh, but hey, we get into this thing. I mean, I think this might be obvious. Who are we gonna give for a performer of the race?
For the performer of the race, I mean, I guess we have to give it to Denny Hamlin, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
then he drove his balls off. He's had a shit year. They've literally been talking shit about him every broadcast.
dude,
They've
people
been
are
just
just
talking shit about him. And I like how he was like, yeah, mic drop. Boom.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm still, like,
He
one of the
needed
best
that.
out here."
Yeah,
Yeah.
he needed that. I'm pretty sure Virginia hates Denny Hamlin, and they always talk about at his home track. And I'm pretty sure everybody in Virginia hates Denny Hamlin.
Really?
And yeah, because when we went
Is
to
this a thing?
Richmond, he got like the most boos of anybody. And we were like, what the fuck? And they're like, he endorses the governor, and the governor sucks. It was something like that. And then what
It's a
kills me?
political thing. That's
Yeah,
not
what
good.
I don't know. What
You don't wanna get into the
the
political
whole
thing.
crowd booed him, and we were like, why is everybody
Oh,
booing Denny?
shit.
But yeah, I don't think Virginia likes him, and he's from there. But when we go to Martinsville, they said the same shit. Oh, home track, Denny Hamlin,
Yeah.
Martinsville. And I'm like, would y'all make up your fucking mind?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah, it's just because he's from Virginia, so they just claim it all. Except most of the drivers are from North Carolina, which is just a short drive from Virginia also, and depending on what track you're at, I bet there's a good chance there's a driver that was closer to that track.
Right.
They're just like, "Oh, Virginia, that's Denny Hamlin."
Bubba's from Mobile, and they're like, just down the road from Talladega. His home track.
Yeah, no, it's so far.
Yeah, that's a whole nother rant episode. But Bubba's always, he doesn't like to say he's from Alabama. Has anyone noticed that? Like, he doesn't rep Alabama. He's not about it. And like, it literally, they'll be like, Bubba Wallace
Yeah, you
from
know what?
Mobile, Alabama, and he'll be like,
And you know what? He's a Tennessee Vols fan, isn't he?
yeah. What fucking sense does that
That's
make?
like the rival with Alabama. Like, that's like the opposite of what you're supposed to do in the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
And if he's from Mobile too, that's like all the way south, super far from Knoxville. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I don't think he does like to rep Alabama. That's a good point.
No, I've never heard him be like, hey, Alabama pride or anything.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, Connor's saying, I'm not going to put it on the comment,
I
but
see
Connor was saying that he endorsed that governor. I know what governor he's talking about too. That one that like dressed up and shit. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There's another good take by Connor. Yeah, I don't know. I just noticed, like, you always hear Bubba's trials and tribulations, but you don't ever hear him talk about where he's from.
That's true.
I think he actually was like born there and like lived there until he was like 2 and they moved or something.
Oh, okay.
That
See,
might
that's
be
another
it, but
thing.
still.
There's another good one too. Ryan Blaney is the same way. Wasn't he like, I can't remember which way it was. He was born in North Carolina but grew up in Ohio or vice versa.
Something.
And they claim, like, I think they say hometown, like High Point, North Carolina,
Yeah.
or something like that. But he reps Ohio. He's a Ohio State fan. He reps Ohio. He doesn't like care really about North Carolina. Like, he reps all Ohio shit. And it's just one of those things that it's almost like they just looked up his bio. And they're like, okay, this is his personality.
We're gonna say he's from here,
right? And it's like, nah, that's not really where he reps.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I was born in North Carolina, and people ask, like, I rep Texas.
Yeah. Oh, Blaney was born in High Point, North Carolina, raised in Ohio.
Yeah, see, that's what, and he reps all Ohio shit. Like, I've heard him in interviews be like, yeah, he's not a fan of any North Carolina team. Like, he's all Ohio, everything. Yeah, Fox gets all their info off Wikipedia. That's right. I mean, pretty much. I think that's what they're doing at this point.
Yep.
So anyway, performer.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Denny.
Denny, but another interesting thing about this race, by the end of it, right? We're looking at Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, William Byron, but then there's Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson. It was like, okay,
this was kind of rising to the top crop.
We're seeing these the old guys come back again. Because I was like, when is that going to happen? This year, it's been all these new winners, new young guns that are stepping out for the first time. This was the first race where I was like, okay, these are the vets that we've seen like forever.
Yeah, it was like, all the big heads were up here. Austin Dillon scraps for a top 10. Alex Bowman started from the back twice. I honestly think he had probably a pretty good car. he got that pit road penalty and went all the way to the back, like halfway through the race. Kyle Busch, this was a huge comeback. That weird call, he had apparently they accidentally put tape on the. They were going to put it on the brake.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
But they put it on the fucking front grill.
Right.
And then like NASCAR 200 laps later was like, wait a minute, what is that? And they were like, hey, you gotta get that off. And they were like, oh, that's still on there. And so they tried to, I don't know, like they said accidentally, and I was like, okay, wait, so they're putting tape over their brake ducts. I was like, I guess to not cool their brakes down. I guess more down for it. I don't know what's the play there. I'm not an engineer.
I was gonna say I don't get paid enough to understand the science behind that.
Yeah, but then apparently now on the new front grille, you're not allowed to cover it up.
They made that very apparent.
That was a huge no. And like the tape looked like it was like 2 inches long. I was like, that ain't doing nothing. Like it clearly looks like they didn't mean to put it there. But then it was that the argument was, well, if it was a penalty, why didn't you tell us 200 laps ago? And that was like kind of where the 18 team was coming from. And I kind of get that, like, hey, you kind of fucked us here. Like we got the penalty 200 laps ago, we had time to like try to recover.
Right.
But you told us it was 50 laps ago.
Right. You can't just let us run around with this.
So I don't know. I would have maybe even been like, give them like a monetary fine or something, or post race $10,000 fine to the crew chief or something. I don't know. Right. It clearly didn't seem to affect him, but it did affect his day. I think Kyle was kind of a solid fifth place car. I literally thought he was done, but he came back like 14th or 15th and came back up to 9th. So I mean, it really didn't kill his day, but it hindered it pretty much. Could have been way worse.
I do want to point out, what were your 2 picks for last week's episode?
I had the 19 and the 43.
Where'd they finish? 19 obviously is
4th, and Eric Jones totally shit the bed. He finished 23rd.
And what were my picks?
The 20 and the 3, both in
Christopher Bell. 10. Yeah.
And Christopher Bell had a good car. He led a bunch of laps.
Yeah. I told you he's really good here. And then Austin Dillon, top 10.
Hey, so baby. You got
some pretty good picks.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are free.
Those are free. Check us out. You might get some good picks for the races. But right before we do our good, bad, and ugly, let's go ahead and rate this bad boy. We've got a list going now.
They're stacking up. Let me pull up the lists we got going.
I think I know what I want. I think I know what I want to give this bad boy.
You do know.
I think. Well, I was like, I kept coming up with numbers. I was like, is that too low? And then I was like, because then I was looking at my other ones, and I was like, I don't feel
that's
like
the
this
thing. I gotta pull up my other ones to know,
to be fair. But then I was like,
7, 7, 1, 6, 9, 8, 5. All right, where do you go? And I'll write yours down.
I'm gonna give this race 6-3.
Wow, that's really low.
Yeah, well, I think it was, a decent race. It was good. I know I vouched for it, but on the factor, I thought, a 6-3 is kind of fair.
You know what? I really like that. I was gonna go in the lower 6s as well. I didn't want to go too low and be too harsh. Phoenix was a 6-9. That's my lowest one so far. And
I literally was kind of comparing this race in my head to almost just like Phoenix.
Exactly. Okay.
I think this finish was better than Phoenix.
That's true.
Well, Phoenix had the green, white checkered, and Ross and Chase kind of duked it out. But then here with this race, the last 50 laps was intense for me, and it was intense, I think, for anyone that was there.
Right.
But then it was a strategy race. You kind of had to be into it to know what was going on, and it was a good one. You could have laid down the recliner, drank a beer, and probably took a little nap.
Right. Yeah. This is tough. And you know what I think I want to do? I was discussing this with Samantha, that what we should do at the halfway point of the season.
Yeah.
Is go back through and
go to our ratings.
What we can do is change them, but only 0.5 in either direction. Right. Okay. So you can be like, oh, you know what? I gave this one
was better than
a 6-9. I'm gonna bump it up to a 7-2.
I've had 4 months to think about it.
Exactly. So just in case. But
I always find the next Monday I feel different about. I kind of get to, think about the race.
And I was like, this race makes me want to go rewatch Phoenix and just kind of see how it stacks up with that one again.
Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi or whatever, they said that this race was like fine wine. It was bitter at first and then it aged properly or whatever. I'm not a wine drinker, but that's what they said. It aged like fine wine. Like the race was kind of all right and then it got really good at the
end. Man, that 6'3" is a good number.
That's why I picked it. I mean, you can pick the same number.
No, I can't. That's not how this works.
You don't know. All I know is I want to change that fucking Xfinity background.
Well, send me a new one. I'll put it up, but you got to do all the work.
I don't know how to put it on there, but I can pick a picture.
Yeah, you send me what you want, and I can change it. All right, I'll go 6'2", just because I can't have the exact same one as you.
You're so lame.
All right, I'll go 10 out of 10. How about that? Is that better?
No. Yep. So that's about how we felt about it. To me, 5 is like that. I have no feelings about that race.
6'9".
6'9",
nice.
Nick, you dog, you silver tongue devil.
That's the thing. It's still above a 5 flat. Is like meh. That was fine. Whatever.
5 flat was like I could have done something else.
5.5 is like okay.
If I go below 5, no, I'm pissed off.
But like 5.5, 5.6, you're like, okay, that's pretty good. So 6.2 is like, I'm glad I watched it. I enjoyed watching it. It's just, yeah.
Oh, my highest of the year still is Atlanta. Your highest is Auto Club.
Well, it should be because Auto Club was the best race by far.
It was good.
Yeah. What did I have for Auto Club?
There. You had an 8.5.
I had an 8.5.
Yeah.
See, that one's gonna go up for me. Like I can already tell. Like I lowballed that one too much. I should.
Yeah, there's a good one too. You gotta take the broadcast out of your affection of the race.
Yeah.
Your score. But
sometimes it's hard though, because that's the only way you viewed the race. You know what I mean?
Right? I know it is hard.
Yeah.
I've been like, I'll pause Kevin's scanners and then like play some MRN, and it's just like if you pause and play MRN and watch it, it's like, dude, this is so much better.
Yeah, I know. We've been discussing this. Also, one thing I mean, I guess we'll do the good, the bad, the ugly. This will come up. So why don't we just go into that?
Take us into our next section. We're going good, bad, and ugly. Everything Richmond. Good tire wear. I loved seeing it. I loved seeing strategy play into, hey, who wants to stay out and try to risk it for the biscuit? William Byron, Martin Truex. Who wants to gamble their whole fucking finish and pit with 50 laps left and take 4 freshies and restart 15th or get back on track in 15th and run the leaders down? Who would have thought it? I loved it. Tire strategy's back. I've been saying it, I think, for the last 2 years. We need more tire fall off at all tracks. Not saying everyone's got to be a tire shredder, but like, I want to see a guy take 4 tires and restart 12th and let's see what he can do. Like,
yeah,
I want to see guys gamble. I want pit crew chiefs to make decisions. I want there to be that, factor into racing. Not, oh, he stayed out, they're going to eat him alive, and he pulled off in a way in one tech.
Yeah, you want strategy to actually like mean something.
Yeah.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to stay out on 50 or 50
yeah, you know what? I was
win.
discussing this with Samantha too. We were talking about what makes like a perfect race. We were talking about the Atlanta reconfiguration and why some people liked it and some people didn't, And I was like, this is the type of like racing that it produces because of the new track. And so I was like, it's some people like races that are a little bit more spread out, but rely more on strategy, which is a lot more like what this race was.
Yeah.
It's like some people like really close, tight packed racing. And if it causes a wreck here and there, like nothing too dangerous, but like that is exciting also. And so she was like, well, why don't you just have all of it? And I was like, well, because that's a perfect fucking race and that doesn't exist.
You know what? You just made me think of something. Is how many times before COTA or even during COTA did you see people sit there and type in bitch about take stage racing out of road courses? Did you see any of that?
From COTA?
Yeah, like before COTA, I saw a lot of our friends saying it.
Yeah,
bitching about
we discussed it.
Stages ruin road course racing.
We discussed it in the episode. How do you not? Were you too drunk to remember this?
Maybe. So, well, I just had a thought. people say it takes the strategy out of the race.
Yeah.
And here we saw a fucking strategy race at Richmond, and people are calling it boring. What the fuck is that?
Well, you know what?
I want strategy racing, not this type of strategy racing.
But you know what though? I think the type of people that want the strategy or want stage racing out of road course racing probably liked this race because it did rely on strategy. I think their argument would be, well, although most people found it boring, those people would also find road course racing boring without stage racing.
Let Coda go green all the way.
Right. And people would lose their shit. Yeah, they would be so
it was boring. Why did we ever go here?
Right. They'd be yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
That's a good point. I think people really good. I think the people that really want it probably would enjoy that type of racing. I think most NASCAR fans would find it boring.
Yeah.
The good in this one, you kind of hit the nail on the head. So that obviously the strategy that played out the end was the best part of the whole race. But I would say green flag laps, like lack of cautions. Like getting to actually watch a race play out, especially after Coda.
I mean, there's like what two real cautions,
right?
Some state. There's 4 yellows. Like but, that's okay.
The week after Coda, that was such a palate cleanser for me to be able to watch racing.
Yeah, we bitched about how long the cautions were too.
Yep.
That was one thing here. Even I don't know what the crew was doing or whatever. It seemed like I was like, oh, I'm gonna go pee real quick. I come back, I'm like, oh shit, they're restarting.
Yeah, exactly. It was quick.
It cleaned, like even stages. I will respect. Like I always bitch about yellow flags, but it's like, no, they were getting it going, like speeding it through.
I think the main thing, how I was saying, like I would sit there and I was getting like, I wouldn't say bored, but like I'd look at my phone more often than some of the other races.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was sitting there still enjoying the race. And I think that was because it was actual racing. It wasn't.
There was passing. You'd see guys pass. You'd see like you were seeing guys come and go.
Like Nick said, comers and goers.
Yeah.
And also
no pedicure. I think didn't I say something? I said, dude, I think they apprehended that guy because I was like, I'm noticing we're not seeing that shit. Like somebody finally was like, oh shit, they're starting to catch up.
So what I noticed is they didn't do those weird like slow zoom ins on kids while the race is going on.
Yeah.
And what they did instead is they would have a bunch of shots of kids and they would put it in between like when commercials come and go.
Oh.
Like, did you notice that? It seemed a lot more appropriate. It was like before the race happened, just some footage they had of parents like playing with their kids and stuff. And I was like, this seemed a little bit more elegant than what they do when they just slowly zoom in on kids in the stands.
We should start making like a rant section of the show like DBCC does. I just thought of one.
What do you got?
They did it. There was a fucking. It has nothing to do with Fox. I don't think. I think it's Talladega. Talladega did a fucking a fucking ad during the race. You know, every time the race starts coming up, I saw a Darlington ad. I saw a Martinsville ad. I saw a Dega ad. Like the ads start coming when the races get closer. Yeah, Bristol Dirt. They show all the night race footage. Dirt,
terrible commercial.
Yeah, it's all night from the night race. Bristol, they show baby. Kevin and Chase, and then they show the dirt, like they're like the dirt race.
Yeah.
But they were showing as a Talladega commercial. They showed the pack going by. It was just cars wrecking. Then it was 2003 Ryan Newman flipping in Daytona, and then it was cars in the pack at Talladega, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's not even the same track. Yeah. I literally was like, whose job is this? Like,
did you tweet that?
Shit? Yeah, I said.
I was gonna say, I think I remember seeing something about that.
I don't think anyone noticed it. They literally like it's flashing B-roll clips, and it was Newman flipping the 12 all-tail car in the Daytona 500 in 2003. And I remember that race. I was watching it, and I thought that wreck was weird and crazy. But I was like, what did that have to do with Talladega? Yeah, and I was like, crashes, flipping, carnage. Like that's what they're going for.
I'm pretty sure they were just hoping nobody else would notice.
I immediately was like,
because they just had like stock images or stock footage.
Yeah, just some footage of wrecks.
And they just typed that into their database, and they're like wrecks, and then just put all those up. And they're like, yeah, that's a super speedway. That's close enough.
Yeah, literally. I was like, oh no.
All right, what do you got for the bad?
Oh man. The bad. Damn. I want to say my bad is the Kyle Busch call, like we were talking about, was I think the bad. Like I think it was, and also I think Dalton Good's like burning everything in his room right now. But like he is fucking furious. I don't know if you've seen anything he was tweeting. Like he's still pissed in our group message. Like I don't get it. He's talking about firing people, fire the crew chief, fire Kyle. I'm like, dude, Jesus fucking Christ, he wasn't gonna win the damn race.
Right.
So like calm down. He still finished ninth. But it's just like missed call. Like if you're gonna call it, I know they fumbled the fucking football, but it's like they should have called it 10 laps after that, or within the same cycle of tires or fuel. Like it was ridiculous that it was like 30 to go, and they were like, "Hey, you guys are getting black flagged because this thing." They're like, "That's been on the car for the last fucking whole 300 laps." I just think it was really ugly, and then being a Kyle Busch fan, I'd also be like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
So Dalton's mad at Kyle
He's mad at
Busch
the crew chief
and his team, not at NASCAR for calling it so late.
He's mad at NASCAR and he's mad at Kyle Busch's crew and crew chief.
All right.
Yeah, but I think it was just ugly. Like I think they black flagged him right then that late. Like it was almost like, "Hey, the deed is done. Like maybe we should do something else."
Yeah, I agree. That was not a good look. I'm trying to think of what would be the bad and the ugly. Because although this wasn't like a spectacular race, there wasn't a lot bad about it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to think of two like really bad things. I don't know. I'm trying to debate like Fox broadcast. Does that go right back to ugly? So this is what I wanted to bring up also. This is what I was going to ask you. What did you think of the team we had in the booth this race?
I like checking house. He gave a lot of, if right here, this is what's going on. If I'm a crew chief, this is what I'm thinking. Almost remind me of Steve Letarte on NBC. Like he was giving his thought and opinion on like, if I'm a crew chief right now, I'm thinking we want to do tires or we want fuel. Like, what up, boy? That's what
is y'all's episode tonight?
Yeah, I think they're going live at 10. I'm gonna try to watch it because I think Dalton's gonna burn the house down.
It's like right during the basketball game. Come on, boys.
Yeah, I'd rather watch LTC. Shut up. But yeah, I think checking house was badass. Honestly, it was an ugly I mean, it's ugly every week with Fox. Mike Joy said something. Mike Joy did say something where he was like, "Oh, that's so and so," and they were like, "I mean, that's such and such," and it was like they totally missed the call. Like Mike Joy's starting to slip, dude.
Yeah, he is. So this is why I was trying to figure out. I think I would go bad the booth, ugly the broadcast. I almost want to separate them now because I actually did kind of like Chad Knaus up there. Like I thought he actually was pretty good. They weren't great up there together, but I think he did pretty good. And then I think the biggest problem is the camera guy. Whoever is like following the race on the camera.
The Blaney Chastain thing camera.
That's the biggest thing.
I gotta run and get a beer. B-roll. Roll the footage.
Roll the footage. Let's see what footage I have to roll. We got more intros. Ooh, the Survivor episode. Anybody that watched that would appreciate that. Dakota, you remember the Survivor episodes?
What?
You remember the Survivor episode? Like when we did the
yeah.
For you to become
the inevitable.
I have this. We're just gonna call it season 3 because I can't remember what season I'm on anymore. You remember that shit?
Yeah, we look like lumberjacks right here,
dude. I have like it's like a fucking 2-minute long video, and it's like a
dude. We got
super intense intro.
Yeah, I remember it was badass. It was like, dude.
You know what? Maybe that'll be the outro video. I'll play that.
Yeah, we'll play that for everybody to watch.
I'm playing that for the outro.
Wow, I look like I'm like, hey,
dude. That was the beginning of season 3. So that was yeah. We're like well into season 4 now.
You've never had so much fun. I always wonder. I'm like, what you used to do before I came on here?
Kansas Slaughterfest tonight. I don't know what you mean. Is Kansas getting slaughtered or is Kansas slaughtering? Like, who's doing the festival?
Yeah, that is kind of like that can go either way.
Yeah, Cody, I don't know who you're rooting for. Yeah, I need you to say.
I might just turn the fucker on so I know what you're talking about.
Here's who's gonna win. Kansas.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Kansas is gonna win. Sorry, Nick. That's just my honest opinion. I think Kansas is the best team this year. But love what Carolina's doing. They're going deep. That's really cool. And also, fuck Coach K. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of people be like Coach K. I have no idea who Coach K is.
Dude, yeah, you do. Shut the fuck up.
You have to know. No, maybe if I saw a picture, I don't know. I saw people like Coach K's last game or something. I don't know.
Dude, he coached the Team USA in the Olympics like forever, like with Michael Jordan.
Let me tell you how many shits I give about the goddamn Olympics.
Dude, okay. I don't know where you grew up in what bubble, but like I don't know how the fuck you. Yeah, exactly. This is nuts. Like, do you know who
I
Michael
grew up outside? We didn't play basketball.
Do you know who Michael Jordan is? I'm
yeah,
so worried.
yeah.
I mean, he was on Coach K's team. Like,
oh my god,
for Team USA, obviously not. He played for Carolina, not Duke. Jesus, dude, that's bad.
Oh my god, mute him. Oh man. Oh, you know what my ugly was?
Yo, I'll hold you to that, Nick.
Hey, you know what my ugly was?
All right, what is it?
Whiners and criers on fucking Twitter.
Well, that can always be an ugly.
Bitching about Ty Gibbs moving fucking John Hunter for the fucking win the same fucking way Dale Earnhardt used to hit people out of the way and win fucking races. Ty Gibbs is out here bumping people, moving people, wrecking people. I don't give a shit. I love it. I love every bit of it. I give me more Ty Gibbs. I'm not even a Toyota fan, and I love watching them drive.
All right, here's the thing. I'm with you on this, but here's the devil's advocate, the argument on the other side. It was cool when Dale Earnhardt did it for a couple reasons. One, his equipment wasn't ever the fastest. Bill Elliott always had better equipment. You know, like RCR never had the best equipment. It's not like RCR now doesn't have the best equipment. Even back with Dale Earnhardt, I don't think they ever had the best equipment. Richard Childress and Dale Earnhardt used to talk about that all the time. And Dale said that he would turn people because he knew he couldn't fucking keep up or catch them. Two, and this is the most important part, is he was like a working class dude, right? And when he busted up his equipment, like they knew that was like that hurt, right? Ty Gibbs, no, let me finish. Ty Gibbs is out there with the best equipment, and he grew up with a shit ton of money. Obviously, we all know who his grandfather is. So the argument is
humble about it.
So the argument is, well, of course he's wrecking people because it doesn't matter to him because he just gets a brand new car whenever he wants. He doesn't have to worry about who pays for this or who fixes this. Not to mention, why does he have to turn people if he already has the best equipment? Now, this is just the devil's advocate argument. I'm not saying I agree with this. I like balls on the fucking track. I wish drivers would just not wear pants when they race because I want balls flying everywhere. Balls out, balls to the wall. That's just I think the devil's advocate to what you're saying.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with those statements. But my thing is just the whining and crying, like, he's dirty. How dare him move John Hunter? Like, does no one remember Atlanta and John Hunter's little antics?
Right. Yeah.
So fuck John Hunter. And
yeah, I don't know who's like coming to his defense either, though.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Well, yeah, I mean, it was a much. He body slammed the fuck out of John Hunter in the 3. Like, he could have gave him the little nudge and moved him and probably won. But he just went in there and missed the corner on purpose. And I also didn't give a shit. I was like, hell yeah, hit him, motherfucker. I want to see him bang to the finish. Like, that was wild. It was good, but then like I didn't agree with the Ryan Sieg thing at Vegas. Like, that was an accident, but ruined Sieg's day. And he was like, hey, what the fuck? But still, like all these road course races, Ty Gibbs going there and he's like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna door bang these guys. I'm trying to get to the lead. And I guess it's more of what I'm trying to say is like the aggressiveness. I don't feel like we don't see enough of it. And then like we talked about Denny Hamlin bitching about the Ross Chastain thing. That's just new age racing, no respect. They just, it's all give, take, and no give. And it's like, well, honestly, I kind of want my driver to want to cut someone's throat to win. I don't want him to be like, hey, buddy, you win. I'll win next time. Like, no, I don't want to see that. Like, I don't think you saw that with Dale Earnhardt. I mean, you saw, he wanted to win every damn race, and he would have damn sold the farm to do it.
You know a driver that is a good example of somebody that won't put you in the wall, is nice, has respect. Eric Almirola.
Yes.
How many wins has that motherfucker had?
Yeah. Well,
How many
he will
wins
just get out of the way
How many
and
wins
let
should he have had though?
when his teammates
You know what I
chasing
mean?
the guy, he will just get out of the way and let that guy go right on
Eric
by.
Almirola could have been a great driver. Like, dude should have
Yeah.
had
He's too
way more
nice.
wins.
Too
He's
nice.
too nice. I have personally seen him. We've all seen him just not go for the gold at the very last second.
I would have
Fucked up.
said the same with Ryan Blaney, but after this weekend, he's finally putting his big boy pants on and getting a little mad under his helmet. Because I always thought Blaney is like, just like, oh, dude, come on, grow some balls.
And I think that was a big thing for why I was 100% on Ross Chastain's side at Coda, because I
Yeah.
was like, good for him. It's about time that he showed some balls and put somebody else in the wall and fuck this. I'm going for the win. It's my
Yeah.
win.
I
You're
don't give a
not going to
shit.
get in my way. Like,
Yeah.
and I that was I think I was 100% behind Ross Chastain when he did that at Austin, because
Yeah.
that's what you got to do if you want to fucking win. You got to have that mentality. You got to be ruthless.
You're damn right.
So I'm 100% with it. I agree with you. I find those people annoying, but to compare him to Dale Earnhardt, I think is a bit.
No, it was a little much. I'm just saying, we used to see guys wreck and beat and bang and bump each other for the win, and now everybody's crying about it.
This is a great argument.
Ooh,
Was
yeah.
Junior too nice? And this
Yeah,
is
I
almost
think
like a good
Junior
off-season
was.
topic.
Yeah. Let's
Did he
break down
miss
Dale Jr.'s career.
right? Did he miss out on wins, like multiple wins that he should have had because he was too nice? I think there's a really good
Yeah.
argument to be made there. Also, I think maybe that's why he has such a good fucking podcast now. He's super nice dude and everybody loves him.
Yeah.
So
think
he
he's
was
too
never
sweet.
his dad, you know, like he was
Yeah.
never gonna be his dad.
He's the sweet son.
Yeah, different personalities.
Yeah.
Totally different.
But that wraps up Richmond, man. It was fun. We'll see you in August, old girl. Great to break it down. We got another old girl to talk about here.
One I'm more excited about, to be quite honest.
I honestly am. I
Let's
think
be
this
real.
one could be a barn burner.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say like we saw them beat and bang at the Clash. It was a short track. Like this is a short track. Are they gonna beat and bang? But we saw these cars can take a beating. And we even saw with old cars, they ain't afraid to, rough up some fenders sometimes at these races. I know that one race has a little more on the line, but everybody wants to win at Martinsville, I think.
Right.
And I think we also see the cream rise to the top here at this race. I think Martinsville right here, and they shortened it to 400 miles. I think it's going to be a little more faster pace. Like we got to go now. For the second half at least. I don't know. I think it's gonna be good. I hope it's gonna be good. Night racing at Martinsville. Was it like the second or third time we're actually doing this now? Third time?
I know you said cream's gonna rise to the top. The cream, whatever the fuck the saying is. I hope not, because the last few
You think we
races,
see some pizzazz?
I want to see some new people up there. The last few races we've had here, it's been like Brad K, Joey Logano,
Martin
Chase
Truex
Elliott,
Jr.
Martin Truex Jr. You know what I mean? It's like the same kind of Denny Hamlin, which is cool. But I've just really enjoyed seeing like Ross Chastain up there, Daniel Suarez, and Tyler Reddick. Seabell. Like I'm liking these kind of new names up there. So I hope
that's
it's
one
a
thing
little different.
Jeff Gluck talked about on his podcast was, Chastain had a couple good runs like last year here and there, but Chastain is regularly getting up in the top 10 now, and he's
weird.
battling with these guys, and they're not used to it. They're not used to him getting up there and being aggressive and not taking bullshit. And it's almost like, he's the new guy on the block, and Chastain's like, hey, I'm fucking here, dude.
He is. He has arrived.
Well, yeah. Another thing too is like hell. Last week, RFK showed some speed. They were both in the top 10 at one point.
Finally, yeah.
Straight up, I love to see it, and I think Brad's really good here at Martinsville. We might see something out of him. I would like to. They've kind of been like way behind the curtain. Like this past weekend was a breath of fresh air. I was kind of like, hey, maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I don't want to sit here and start betting on them yet. But I'm like, hey, the progress.
Right. Yeah. I pulled up the last couple Martinsvilles because I know we're gonna be making our picks. I'm trying to prepare myself.
Yeah, I wonder if we see like a new Martinsville here. Like, is it gonna race different? Are there gonna be guys that are just like all of a sudden this is clicking with a new car with them? Or are we gonna see the guys that were always good here be even better?
Yeah, I'd like to see some new guys at this track. I say it's like this track. We've seen the same names over and over, but to be honest, the past like 3 or 4 years, even fucking
Alex
past
Bowman,
6 years, it's been like
Chase
always the
Elliott.
same guys. So if it's the same guys, like you can't really complain because that's what we've seen. But this season with the new car, it's just been so different, and I'm kind of like hoping for that again.
I'd love to see a new winner, like a new.
Right.
Hey, that's one thing we didn't say. 7 races, 7 winners too, man.
Oh shit, that's a
Like
great point.
we're fucking getting there. Like
Yeah,
before, it was like we ain't gonna get 16 winners. Now I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, my dad was like, "Oh man, if Austin Dillon keeps getting these top 10s, he'll point his way into the playoffs." And I was like, "Probably not this year." I was like,
No.
the past couple years, probably you get a bunch of top 10s.
Well,
You
that's
can
the
point your
thing
way in.
too. Is 7 races, 7 winners. We still have what 19 races left to the playoffs. So, do you think we can get? You think we can get 9 more winners in 19 races? Yes.
I was gonna say like so last year. I don't remember how many races it was when we had like.
I think we got 13 winners last year.
Yeah, it was like we were doing pretty good though, right at the
Yeah,
beginning.
we were good. They got
like,
close.
We were like, okay, I think it'll work out. This year is different because of the car. You know what I mean? Like this year, it is different. Because I was gonna say, is this just last year?
Well, I've been wondering too, is who's gonna be the first guy to get 2 wins? Like, I think that'll happen. Like, who's gonna be the first?
And you know what's funny is last year we were like, okay, it's either Hamlin or Larson. It's like for sure those two are the best by far. This year, maybe Ross Chastain.
We've seen a bunch of different guys
like
lead.
the most consistent.
We've seen a bunch of different guys lead, but is like there hasn't been a like favorite. There hasn't been like Chastain's been on a tear, but like there hasn't been like oh, Larson wins another one. Like if you notice, Larson's kind of been fighting for these fucking finishes he's getting.
Big time, yeah.
He's not out there leading every damn lap. Remember, he would start. Well, they also had this bullshit formula last year, which I thought was horseshit to Larson's success.
Yeah.
Fell right in his favor. Was when you have the fastest car and you start on the pole and you lead all the laps, it's crazy when you win.
Right.
But yeah, I think you're seeing different stuff every week, seeing different leaders. Byron's kind of he showed some strength right there, almost won Richmond with the long run call. I was
really,
like,
anyone on the Hendrick team at this point can win.
I was like, is Byron gonna get a second win here?
I view the whole Hendrick team like that. Like, if you're on that team, you can win a race any given week.
Toyota's finally in the win column now, so are we going to see like, hey, they finally got the ball rolling? Watch out! I don't know. I did see a stat out of all the races this year, the best finishing Ford driver, like the best stats so far is Eric Almirola.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like he's leading the Ford camp with finishes. Or like average finish this year.
All right. Well, you want to do some at the line picks?
Yeah. So that's gonna roll us straight into at the line. We're just gonna break it down, throw you a couple picks, and then we'll make our picks for Martinsville. It's gonna be a little hairy.
We got a couple picks in the comments.
That's a fucking terrible one there, mate.
Chase.
But honestly, if you were a betting man, 19. he might be a good one to.
Yeah, honestly, it's not a bad bet.
He might be. That's the thing. Chase Elliott might go out there and win this thing, or he might be like 17.
Yeah.
But that's gonna pull me in. I was just talking about I feel like they're almost just kind of even, but we're going to Martinsville, one of his better tracks, but don't count out old Tubby. First at the line pick, we're gonna do Brad Keselowski versus his younger teammate of Chris Buescher.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go Brad K here just because he is really good at this track. We haven't seen much out of him this year. Obviously, this last race we did, which was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta go Brad K. This is a track where it'd be nice to see him get a win.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be super cool. I think he will too. I just thought since we just talked about him, it'd be a great one to talk about. Also, well, here's a little spicy one.
By the way, what do you think of their car, the paint scheme setup?
So
it's
I love
the same thing,
how the sponsors are sponsoring both cars. Like each sponsor's been sponsoring both cars. I don't like when they're doing the same race. I think it's especially with Spars, like they did one had a purple number, one had a yellow number.
Yeah,
it's the same scheme.
Yeah.
If it's the same scheme, but they run different races, like different tracks, that's fine. Like I think that's cool. But like they did the Violet Defense both on the same car in the same race. I didn't like. I thought it was just changed. Right,
tacky. It was a little much because I was like, okay, I'm looking at two identical cars. You just changed one number on one car is like purple and one's yellow or something like that.
When they've been doing these paint scheme reveals, they've been releasing both of them. Like they'll show
which is cool. I actually like that.
Cool, but I don't want them to both run at the same race.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's good for sponsorship because you're like, hey, you double your chance to win. Yeah,
yeah.
Like
I heard that's also kind of what they did. They're like, hey, we'll cut you a deal. Like instead of sponsoring one car for this much money, we'll let you sponsor 2 for just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like 50% off the second car if you
not
want
a bad strategy.
No, it's actually a good idea, and it is a good idea because you're like, okay, you're going to be sponsoring 2 cars in Richmond instead of 1. Yeah, so you're doubling your chance to win at Richmond,
right?
Like that's actually not a bad play.
Yeah, you got 2 chances of getting.
I mean, we're talking about it. They got a lot of coverage. On that race because Brad Gay was doing good
because they were running better.
Busher, yeah. So
all right, who finishes better? It's Martinsville, so I really don't know who might be better here. But out of the Hendrick camp, we were talking about him, Kyle Larson or William Byron.
Oh man,
I think that one's a little toughy because I think Larson has best finish here last year, almost won it but didn't win it. And I think Byron, don't sleep on, man. He's been running these late model races. I think he's in a fast Hendrick car this season.
You know what?
Could be up there.
This is probably a terrible pick. I'm gonna go Byron.
I was gonna go Byron.
Just because I think Larson will either win or like DNF or like some random shit.
Yeah, just blow a brake rotor or something.
Yeah,
and Willie B is so hot.
Whereas he'll just get like a top 10, and you're like, oh yeah,
he'll just quietly finish 7th.
Right?
Like, yeah. Oh my god,
he was there the whole time, and you're like, yeah, he never really got higher than 5th.
Oh, I think this one might be good.
Everybody's taking Willie B. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. I think this is going to be a good one.
All right, let's hear it.
Corey LaJoie or Bubba Wallace?
That is a good one. You know what? I'm gonna go Bubba Wallace just because of his equipment.
Dude. Oh, that's funny because I'm going Corey LaJoie. If you remember when Corey LaJoie was in the 32 car, he was up here battling, bumping, and like moving fucking people out of the way, like in fucking 11th. I think he got 10th one time. But if you also remember Bubba Wallace in a 43 car that was spray painted black and had some graffiti on the side, he also was up to like 7th one time, beating and banging and driving his little ass off.
Yeah, and he was like trying to block and shit,
causing hate crimes all over pit road. And so I think both of these could be little like underline, could get a top 10. I don't know. I think this was a hard one.
I know. Okay, we've seen Bubba do much better this season, and I know he has good equipment. Like
I thought I was going to see more out of him at Richmond, and he was not.
That's true. He really didn't show up at Richmond. That's a good point. I'm going Bubba just because I'm confident like they have better equipment. Like that team looks like they're really there. Right.
Dude, fucking Kurt, bro. I had him in like fucking 4 of my lineups for Richmond, and like fucking lap 1, I ain't got no fuel pressure, and it goes behind the wall. I was like, motherfucker, because he was starting in like 30th. I was like, dude, Kurt, Richmond, like they're gonna have like he'll be up there, and I bet on him big, and I lost so bad. Ooh, just thought of another one. We're going here. This guy leads a lot of laps. However, this other guy is really hot right now. Ryan Blaney or Ross Chastain?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That is a really good one.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go Blaney just because we're talking about best finish.
Does Blaney get the pole?
Right. It's like I could see Ross Chastain winning, but
is Blaney the new Rocket Man?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I could see Blaney like having a better finish here.
Yeah, I could see Blaney either has a better finish or leads a lot of laps and finishes 11th. I could see Ross hanging out in 11th and then fighting up to 6th. We'll see though.
I don't think Ross will finish 6th. I think he'll finish either top 5 or like way back.
That's a good one too.
Because I think he's just getting real ballsy now, where he's like, "Fuck it, if I'm not going for the win, like fuck this race," which I love.
Do you want to take that straight into your underdog pick of the week?
I like this comment. Blaney and he ships Ross at the point to reclaim his manhood.
Yeah. I don't think it's over. I'd like to see it carry on. I want to see it carry on.
That's a cool little, yeah. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing that one.
I want to see like, hey, we don't like each other and we get around each other. The only thing is, guys will like text or talk or message and be like, hey man, I'm all good or I'm all good. And then 3 weeks later, when they're next to each other, Fox will be like, these guys don't like each other.
Yeah, exactly. On
Here's
Twitter, they're like,
fucking
hey, we're good.
Yeah, here's a fucking replay from 4 months ago. Look at this. And I'm like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
All right. At the line, who's your underdog pick of the week?
You know, my underdog, I'm gonna go Eric Almirola.
Oh my god, I was literally just thinking about him.
Were you?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, I was.
okay.
I was
He's
literally like,
underdog pick here.
Almirola, he likes New Hampshire. He likes these flat, long straightaway ovals. Would be a solid underdog. The camera doesn't follow him. Yeah, I don't know, man. Damn it, that's not gonna be an underdog. I was literally just thinking, I was like, he would be a good underdog.
Wait, no, not that one. Here's an underdog pick.
Yeah, he was non-existent at Richmond too. Like, where the fuck was he at?
How
Ooh,
long is Reddick gonna be allowed to be an underdog pick?
he's still an underdog straight
he
up.
is still, but like it's not gonna last for very long.
You know who my underdog pick is?
Who is your underdog pick?
The 99 of Daniel Suarez.
Ooh.
I went on Stock Car Spectacle the other week. I don't know if you saw me share it and stuff with the boys that came for the Atlanta weekend. And they were like, dude, I'm liking Daniel Suarez. And I went, and they were like, dude, oh my, like, cut. And they were like, I was like, what? And they were like, dude, you can't do that. You're gonna cancel. I was like, that's not offensive.
Yeah, how is that offensive?
Yeah,
that's
I was
celebrating
like,
Mexican culture.
Yeah, I was like, if anything, that's like, I was like, if anything, that's like a respect thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And
look, as somebody that grew up in Texas, seeing mariachi bands is actually very common. It's like I go to weddings with mariachi bands. You go to restaurants. You go to the fucking parks. Like, mariachi bands are not offensive. Trying to sound like you're part of
when Suarez wins, you need a sombrero to wear on the show.
Right. Well, my fucking buddy that was at the race in Austin was wearing a sombrero. He was wearing a sombrero. It was his first NASCAR race, and he went and bought fucking Suarez shit. I was like, yo, I got your boy for you. I know who you want to cheer for.
Hell yeah. Who is your winner of the race?
You know what? You pick yours first because I did mine.
Right. Oh God, who do I want to pick?
That's why I want you to go first because I want you to eliminate an option for me because I don't know who to pick.
I'm not gonna pick him because I picked him last week, but I think.
Wait, who'd you pick last week?
I picked the 19, and I think he's gonna be a
that's right.
big hitter here. However, I am gonna go with a 22 of Joey Logano. He won the fucking clash in this damn car. He can win at Martinsville. He was in second for a long time at Richmond and just like fell out of the fucking sky. I don't really know. Or he had that crazy pit stop and never recovered. That's right. Joey Logano was showing some speed last week, and I think he's going to be good here. I'm picking Joey Logano. The 2-2 and the 9-9 are my picks.
All right. This one's for Dalton Good. I'm picking Kyle fucking Busch.
Wow, dude, you're going to fucking hell. Honestly, I think Kyle's a solid pick. He's got to be more pissed than ever. Denny was pissed, and it looked like it paid off for him.
Exactly.
So Kyle Busch has been on a fucking tear of bad luck.
He's been doing really good. He has been really good here. Like I'm just feeling it right now. It's time for Kyle to get that dub. So there you go, Dalton Good. Kyle fucking Busch, boy.
We'll clip that when he wins.
Yeah, when he wins. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for Martinsville.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be tuned up Saturday night watching.
Hopefully, I'm able to watch it. For all of our listeners,
too.
There's a good chance this is my last episode for a while. Just a heads up. I'm not trying to be morbid, but like
I just thought about like this might be it for a minute.
Yeah, no. Our doctor has told us, like last week that the baby can come literally any day. Like we're ready to go.
Enjoy these days.
This whole weekend, we've had our hospital bags. We were staying at my parents' house because they're right across the street from the hospital. So we are just like recording. Dakota was like, are you gonna be able to record, or like are you gonna have to run to the hospital? And the way I looked at it is like, if I do have to run to the hospital, it's good for multiple reasons because then I get my baby. And 2, it'd be great content. Or if I'm like running out of the room.
So we lost Rattlesnake.
Maybe knock over the camera on my way out or something. I'm like, get the bags, get the bags.
Be extra car. About it. Get the goddamn car.
Yeah, get the dogs. I'll get the dogs. I'll get the dogs. You get the bag.
Yeah. Fuck the dogs. We gotta go.
Yeah. If I have to hear this one more goddamn fucking time,
dude, Luna's since she's been a baby, Luna's slept like a fucking hog, dude. She sleeps longer than we do. She sleeps all through the night. She has growing pains every once in a while, but she sleeps. But I've heard the horror stories. I mean, there was times she would wake up, but yeah, man.
Dude, that's hilarious that Nick said this because that's exactly what we've been doing. We've been like going on walks and like she's doing the squatting.
That's not how you get that baby out.
All right, look, we're not having.
Ew, gross.
We're not having this conversation on here.
Baby Rosie. Congrats, Big Daddy Rattlesnake. But hey, the show goes on. I'll be here leading the charge. I'm probably going to pull some of y'all to come join the show and talk shit with me because I'll be so bored out of my mind. And Rattlesnake will be MIA. We need to make like a little clip like, where is Rattlesnake? And it'll be like you like standing there. The show goes on. I'm not fucking leaving.
I figure like Shitty Rob will come on quite a bit.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to have some guests on. We're going to have some friends on.
Yeah.
Check your DMs. I might be asking you to come on the show. We got some races coming. Well, you better at least, the best thing, dude, too, is you're sitting there and you're like, hey, why don't you go rest? I got the baby. And you turn the race on and you're holding your new little baby and you're sitting there drinking a beer just like fucking life is good, dude.
That's the thing is I was like, okay, I think I'll still be able to like watch the races while I'm taking care of the baby.
Yeah.
And then I can at least send you like my rating for each race and be like, oh, this is what I rated it. So we can keep tracking that at least.
Dude, Kevin won the race the weekend after Luna was born.
Oh, so you're saying Austin Dillon's gonna win the race right after?
Maybe. But
no,
it was
happening.
It was fucking awesome. It was so cool.
Damn it. That would be so
I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
Dude. Yeah, that would be if our baby who is a girl is born on Sunday when Austin Dillon wins, her name will be Austin Dillon.
Austin Dillon Rose.
Yeah, here you go. Put a picture frame with me just right over your shoulder.
Dude, yes. We need to print out a picture of you. And I'll be like, good night. Just sitting here. Yes.
Yeah, give me a Martinsville onesie. That's what my daughter names.
Hell yeah. But good episode. Hopefully you have a baby this week or this weekend. Check us out next week. I will be here somehow, some way. And
maybe I'll be here. It's probably not likely based on what the doctor's saying, but what do doctors know anyway?
Yeah, they're full of shit, dude.
Look, I got a degree right there hanging up. You see this? That's a degree. I don't know shit. I don't trust those things.
Yeah.
All right, well, enjoy this Survivor.
Hey, play the outro, yeah.
Yeah, enjoy our Survivor for the outro, just because why not? Fuck it. Thanks for tuning in. Peace. We're just going to call it Season 3, because I can't remember what season I'm on anymore. I'm finding a new co-host, because I'm tired of doing the shit on my own. I'm going to rotate co-hosts, and we're going to find out who's the best. So the show is continuing with the co-host challenge. We're trying to find the best co-host. So far, they've all been terrible. Although I look like Blake Shelton, I'm thinking more Survivor. I've been watching a lot of Survivor lately. I want to do some kind of like Survivor style finale. I want to have like everybody back and see how it goes. And we all kind of shoot the shit, get all the co-hosts back on. And we're going to try to do one like massive thing to wrap up the co-host challenge. If I really want to copy Survivor, is have the other co-hosts that didn't make it be the judges and decide. That'd be like full on Survivor. Yeah. I want to turn this into a Survivor challenge. All right, cheers. Cool. Here we go.
Cheers.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Cheers to Chairgatin.
The name of the show is Chairgatin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the wheelchair.
Hopefully I earned the spot. A healthy drinking problem.
Oh man, it's just love day, Brandon.
You are the ultimate cheerleader.
I had a lot of fun.
I'm blown away by the co-host. You just jumped up pretty high with this one. It's pretty much like the